favorite part of Advent. We get to this bit of enlightening. We began with 2 weeks of this wonderful serum blue color in the vestments, and I was wearing blue. And today, known as Gaudete Sunday, that special third Sunday in Advent, we lighten up a little bit. We get to light our rose-colored candle. We have some pink ribbons. Also, if you've been noticing, there's something subtle that the Altar Guild is doing with our arrangements. On the first Sunday, we only have a little bit of green pine in our vases. The next Sunday, there were little red fruit drops, little berries. And then this Sunday, they've added a pink rose for Rose Sunday. Can't wait to see what's next week. But all of this gradual, subtle growth is to remind us, when we pay attention in our daily lives, that there are signs indeed around us that God is present, that little blessings creep into our life, even in the most hard times and dark times. Now, what's kind of wonderful about the readings that we have for this weekend is it starts out with this wonderfully joyous prophecy from Zephaniah, and he's so excited. He's telling Jerusalem, which has basically been conquered by every possible civilization, one after another, that yes, you've had horrible times, but something wonderful is in store for you. Good times are coming when you will be on your own feet and you will be strong enough to be your own people. And that kind of joyful proclamation is an interesting juxtaposition when we hear from John the Baptist in Luke's Gospel. Luke's Gospel is doing something very interesting with John. And it doesn't sound like it's very good news when John is talking, first calling people brood of vipers is not how you always win friends. But he does that. He's not worried about that. And he also is saying these kind of harsh things to people throughout what he's teaching. But what's very interesting is when we look at exactly who he's talking to, who he's addressing these remarks to. He's addressing his remarks historically, first of all, the way Luke is framing this, to the people who have colluded with the Roman Empire that were part of the Sanhedrin, or the hierarchy of the religious authorities, who basically were kind of being bought off and helping to oppress their own people, and using the messages of their faith to justify it, and not taking care of the people, which is what their faith was telling them they should do. The next thing he's doing is he's addressing a bunch of people that are associated with the authority of the governance that's in place in Judea under the Roman Empire. He's talking to tax collectors that represent that government. He's talking to soldiers that represent that government. He's talking to people who basically are part of the problem, who are part of the machine of the empire that is oppressing the people. So he's talking to them. Now, it's hard for us sometimes, I think, to understand exactly the emotional feel of this because of the imagery that's used. It's somewhat antiquated or out from a different culture and time from us. And so it doesn't really have an emotional immediacy to us to understand completely why perhaps the Roman governance might have been irritated by John and thought they needed to do something about him. So I've done something today that I've only ever done once before in my whole career as a priest, because that last time I did it, I got so much kickback. It was amazing. But I realized I've probably done something right. So I've done it again. But just remember, if you're having feelings, you should. Secondly, imagine what John would have gone through. Let's try to write a letter as John, perhaps, might be doing it today, with the same messages. First, I have to get my glasses. All right. To the government administration in Washington, D.C. Dear brood of vipers, what do you think you are doing? Are you really ready to reap what you have sown? It would be better for you if you had rather grown non-GMO fruits then made your money by investing in environmentally hazardous chemicals and toxic methods of mineral extraction and fossil fuels. If you think that you are safe from the wrath of future generations, you should probably be aware that your care in your old age is entirely in their hands. If you do not invest in them, they will owe you nothing. They will remember their ancestors as only those who truly cared for them, and it will not be you. The arrogant and self-centered are a dime a dozen and easy to fire. Those who truly serve the people know that they nurture those who are not yet born, and will themselves therefore be honored forever. Those who belong to the 1% are those who must learn to live with less, not those whom they would seek to oppress. So stop stealing what belongs to the people for all generations. Clean water, national parklands, entire species of animals, sustainable employment, just wages, health care, and even good health itself. You tax those who bear the greatest economic burden of your inflated prices. Stop it. You give tax money to those who have far more than they need. Stop it. You build and populate prisons with minorities whom you have provided no viable alternative or route to human dignity. Stop it. When they raise their voices and not weapons, you threaten the people with the same weapons that you have created for fighting in foreign wars. These are your citizens. Stop it. You claim divine blessing, and you flaunt your piety, dressing up your misdeeds with the robes of a corrupted belief. Stop it. As children are taught when they are very young, you must learn to share. You must be taught anew and learn well that you belong to a common God, a singular spirit that binds you into one family called humanity. You must change your ways from fighting for an empire to cultivating common ground. Well, you may wonder, who does this person think they are who presumes to teach us and tell us what to do? Your actions have already told me that you think that I am worth nothing, as so many of my fellow citizens. And in a way, you are right. Not because I or we have no value, but because there is one who exists that is of greater worth than any of us. Neither you or I are worthy of his notice. Yet, he notices everything and forgets nothing and no one. I can't harm you, nor would I want to do so even if I could. No, violence is your way, not mine and not his. Do you know what baptism is? A little water, a dab of sacred oil? These are only small signs, human gestures, pointing only faintly to an immense reality far more powerful than anything you can do from your vantage point of human authority. Compared to the one who was and is to be, you are as chaff that will be blown away on the winds of change. For, my friends, change is coming, and it will swallow you up whole. The people who are even now rising will be as a resurrection of hope to the world. The fire of God, that is God's love, will be their fire as they love one another, a love for all creation, will consume your petty greed, and will set right your common thievery, and will till under the ground your wars in order to plant a new earth and a new way of being together that will bring life to all people. So, prepare for your end, you vipers. The poison of your generation has met its healer. Love, John. Now then, that energy around the words that John is proclaiming, this kind of sense that it is very specific to whom it is directed, but also that there is a difference that John is making between those people who are willing to gather at the waters of baptism on the River Jordan. That from that edge, they are intended to go back into the world where they live and change it. That little bit of water or immersion in baptism, that bit of holy oil is not enough. It's our response to those symbols and action that inform us through our entire life. It takes far more courage in John's eyes to be bearers of God's love and peace than it does to be bearers of weapons of violence. Far more strength to change the world and the way we relate to one another than to allow it to devolve into further war. That our strength, our light, and our love that we are to bear has its source and foundation in God. That here in this time of Advent we are reminded that that torch is about to be handed to us. It is a type of revolution of all the world of which we are a part from generation to generation. And it is our time to do God's work in God's world. Now the challenges of this reminded to me in that ongoing journey that I've been sharing with you through Advent of my time in Nepal. Of having now gotten to the Himalayas itself, having been deposited on the very short tarmac up in the Himalayas, we entered into a Jeep driven by a rather crazed Nepali driver. There is no other kind. And our Sherpa guide, one of our main guides, is in the Jeep with us. As we begin this journey, I want to share with you that it's not like being in Disneyland. There are no guardrails on the edge of a sheer drop down into the valleys below. It is essentially a single lane. If someone comes towards you in another vehicle, and believe it or not only are there Jeeps, there are buses, you're having to figure out who's going to the outer edge and who's going inside. Because there's no rules to that. A constant game of chicken was pointed out to us when the Nepali driver said, yeah, look down to your left on the particular crevice we were going by, and indeed down there was a truck. And its drivers, just 3 days before, its driver and passenger had been killed, as he merrily continues on his way. So as we're thinking that sober thought, we don't have much time because we realize how important our seatbelts are, and we reach for them, and there are none. And we hold on to whatever we can and continue on this trip. We finally at last get into one of the higher elevations where there is a tea house. A tea house is not exactly where you sit down with some nice pottery and have a cuppa and a biscuit. A tea house is very rustic, made out of wood. It can look like all kinds of ways, but you're basically sitting in the tea house with whoever the people are who live there because it's a family home. And so there you are, meeting your very first Sherpa people, trying to understand what you can say and how to relate to them. They don't know English, and I don't happen to know any Sherpa. So everything is gesticulating, but I'm finding out lots of interesting things. The anthropologist in me is saying, look at all these implements that you have by your wooden fire. They have fire pit right in this corner of the home, and a chimney that kind of warms the center area, but that's it. Up here in the Himalayas, the outside temperature is about 32 degrees at the time that we are traveling in November. And as we're in there all huddled around this room, we're really grateful for one another's warmth. And they're making the most incredible meals on this open fire, as well as tea. Now, just a word for all of you who may want to try this travel. When they offer you tea, you need to ask for leaf tea, or you will get warmed yak milk as your tea. So, which is nourishing the first few times you have it, and boy, do they live off it because they have to. It's the calories they burn every day, just simply living up on the edge of a high valley mountain area. When we spent our first night in our tea house, then we started trekking by foot. And we had some of the most spectacular views I've ever seen, and will ever see in my life, of the Himalayas, including Mount Everest. Because there it is. If you try to hike to base camp, you won't see it. You're too close. But on this valley trip, you're seeing it perfectly along with other well-known peaks. And we stopped at our second most highest elevation, just under 10,000 feet, where we camped outside in tents at about 20 degrees at night because the tea house is full with family and Sherpa. The entire time we're walking, a son of our primary Sherpa is carrying my bag, and another son is carrying the bag of my companion, who's an emergency nurse from Bellingham. At this time, as we're talking around the fire, I learned that the young man who's schlepping my stuff around the Himalayas has summited Everest 3 times. One more time, I'm mortified that someone is carrying my stuff. But I'm assured again by the head Sherpa, that's what I'm supposed to do, because of the pride of them being paid for that work is my contribution to their economy as a tourist. So I have to be satisfied. We continued the next day going down some of the sheerest rock faces I have ever climbed without technical gear. Every possible step you take, you're actually on a cap that is a riverine system, so there's rocks all over the place to turn an ankle on. When I laughingly suggested that idea, we best be careful that we don't kill ourselves, our guide shared with us how 2 weeks before, 2 of the travelers on this same trip we're on had to be helicoptered out for that very reason. And we continue our journey. At the same time, this tremendous juxtaposition is highlighted for me, that in the midst of probably doing one of the most dangerous things in my life at all times on this journey, I'm actually the most exhilarated and learning so much about the environments that we're going through. From subtropical, the place in the Himalayas where red pandas come from, to that subzone where there are no trees. We went up and down that valley system 3 times in one day, losing and gaining an average of 5,000 feet each time we did it. I wasn't quite that fit, but they took as many breaks as I needed, and we did it. Until we got to the last village before we were going to stay there for several days. And a woman named Kidan made us a spectacular meal that I will never forget over the humble, small, open fire in her home. I will never ever taste anything so good as I did at almost 9,000 feet, having hiked for 12 hours in the day, up and down the elevation. And then the next day, we were to go down to our last valley and our final destination, when things got really aggressive. Next.